I would like to welcome you all to the January 12th, 2023 meeting of the Bellingham Planning Board. We have a few items on our agenda this evening. I appreciate the people that are here in person and those who are watching us online. The first item on the agenda is a continuation of the public hearing for the WS development. Do anybody want to hear from WS? They have requested a continuance due to the holidays. They received material late. We were not able to get the material back to us until by last Friday.
Yes, you got their review back last Thursday, so they want time to review.
So that the applicant wants time to review the answers from our peer review. So I'd like to open that meeting. And have a motion to open the hearing. I'm sorry.
And then to continue until
Yeah,
February.
we will have the continuation to February 9th. Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion? All in favor, we have to do this individually. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is our first meeting for public hearing for Snet Trail Estates. The applicant and the owner, Michael Bird, proposed a 6-lot residential subdivision on approximately 26.4 plus or minus acres of land on the west side of Lake Street in Bellingham, shown on the assessors map 80-09-01 zone agricultural. The plans were prepared by Legacy Engineering, 73 Main Street, Millis, Mass. Entitled by Definitive Subdivision Plan, Snet Trail Estates, dated November 7th, 2022. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for Snet Trail Definitive? Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call individually in favor of opening the meeting.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. Sir, the floor of yours, if you could just introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Dan Merrican with Legacy Engineering here on behalf of the applicant. We've submitted an application, as you indicated, for definitive subdivision approval and a stormwater management permit for a 6-lot, single-family residential subdivision. It's located on a piece of land that you can see here. Aerial photo, maybe we'll talk to see, but it's between 336 and 340 Lake Street.
For those people in the audience, it's being shown behind you as well.
The property is undeveloped in its present condition. On the southerly, southwesterly portion of the property, there's a river, Peters River. There's an associated wetland system, floodplain. We're not proposing to do any work within those wetland areas or the floodplain or the riverfront area or anything like that. There's also wetlands on the north side of the property. What we're proposing to do is use the middle of the property, which is this area in here, to come in with a road. Just back out, I'll show you a little bit of the existing condition. So I'm going to go from from south to north. So this is the south end of the property that extends all the way up to Railroad Street. You can see there's a lot of wetland here. None of this is really usable or developable. There's a little bit of upland here. But as we get back into the site proper, this is where we have two basically fingers of land that come out to Lake Street. We have one that was clearly left as a road entrance opposite High Ridge. Unfortunately, though, it has wetland areas, so it's not a good option to bring a road in. And then we have this second area here to the left, which has upland areas where we can bring a road through. So we selected that location for our proposed road. We are zoned agricultural. We're in the Zone 2 Groundwater Protection District. Lot size requirements are 80,000 square foot minimum, 200 feet of frontage. And what we have proposed is 6 lots. So this would be a lane under your regulations, so 40 feet wide with 22 feet of pavement, 1 sidewalk, Cape Cod berm. We would come in off of Lake Street. There's a little isolated wetland here on the left. There's a bordering vegetated wetland on the right. We come in between those 2 areas so that we don't have to disturb any of those areas. And then we will come back and we would have 3 lots on the left and 3 lots on the right. At the end of the cul-de-sac, we have separate parcels set aside for our stormwater management system. The road is 878 feet long. We have a 100-foot diameter cul-de-sac with 80-foot diameter paved area as required by your regulations. Show you a little bit of the profile. This is the profile of the road. You can see that the topography now, the profile view is exaggerated tenfold, so it's not nearly as dramatic as this. But you can see that it comes in off of Lake Street, goes down, and it goes up over a hill, then it goes down again, then it goes up over another hill, and then it goes down. So we basically came up with a proposed road profile that kind of balances those cuts and fills and hits us with a middle ground area there. And then at the end of the cul-de-sac, we have a stormwater management basin, which is an infiltration basin. And that's going to discharge out into the wooded area towards the south. There's really nothing, there's hundreds and hundreds of feet of woods there, and that leads down to Peters River. We have provided you with a comprehensive stormwater management report. It addresses all the requirements of your regulations and the DEP stormwater management standards. We have a system of catch basins and manholes and pipes that collect runoff from all of the road areas. You can see those in the profile here. They basically will collect runoff from the road areas and pipe them to the cul-de-sac. At the end of the cul-de-sac, it will discharge into the shallow infiltration basin. So we have pre-treatment with catch basins and a sediment forebay, and then final treatment with the infiltration basin. We have no increase in peak rate or total volume of runoff in any design storm. And those are the highlights. We have our stormwater report includes all the usual elements, O&M plan, SWIP, TSS removal calculations, all of the things that are required for a modern stormwater management design and report. We're asking for 1 waiver, which is our intersection separation distance. As I indicated, we have an entrance. It's not quite directly opposite High Ridge. It's actually a little offset, but it's not a good option because it would entail the disturbance of wetland resource areas, which, if we can avoid doing that, we want to avoid doing that. So we've proposed the road entrance to be in this location, which is 320 feet from High Ridge Road, whereas the regs require 400. So we're asking for that 1 waiver on that topic. And then I did see a note from the fire chief. So if you look at, we talk about water and sewer for a minute here. So we're downhill from Lake Street, so sewer doesn't work for gravity. We're proposing septic systems. Regarding water, there's really no good way to loop a water main. You can see that we have to our south, we have wetlands, riverfront area, floodplain, a river. To our north, we have a river. There's no way to loop a water main. So the applicant's proposing to build wells on each lot, if that's something that the board is okay with. But I did see the comment from the fire chief. I can meet with the fire department, maybe we could run a main down for a portion of the road and put a hydrant in a location that the fire department finds acceptable. But again, I don't know that we'd be able to loop that in any way. So we would need to ask for a waiver on that. So that's about it. I did file an application with the Conservation Commission today. So we'll be having a hearing with them shortly. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
We will most likely run concurrent
Makes sense.
with the that department. on conservation.
What's the size of your retention pond, Marty?
The size of the parcel?
Yeah.
It is 34,496 square feet, about 3/4 of an acre.
You're just doing wells for everybody?
It was our plan to do a well and a septic system on each lot.
Are you selling the lots off and developers gonna buy them out, or are you developing it?
I don't, well, I'm not doing anything.
Right, I understand that.
I don't think the owner is gonna develop the subdivision, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's my issue. Say I was to go in and want to buy a lot and develop it, and I want a town lot.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
some
gonna be-
people like wells,
Right.
so it kind of goes both ways. I mean, again, we're just, there's no way to loop the dead
Well,
end.
I'm just wondering what kind of infrastructure you're gonna offer these people when they buy their lot, when they develop their home. That's what I'm wondering. What's the developer gonna put in that road? Or is he gonna, are these people gonna ask for it and then end up coming down later and have to put it in? So you get 3 developers want it. He can't sell the lots. No, I want this. Then you're gonna have to redig everything up. That's what one of my concerns are.
Okay. Well, I could certainly explore that with the applicant. I mean, is the board amenable to a waiver on the issue of looping, given that there's no way really to do it?
We'll discuss that after we all have comments.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's appropriate right now to answer that.
Mike, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I guess as far as the water main goes, I'd be interested to hear what DPW, and I know fire department has already weighed in, so I'll hold my comments on that. One question I had for you, Dan. I noticed, so I went through your stormwater report, which looked very thorough per usual.
Thank you.
So I did notice one thing with the basin. So I know you have relatively shallow groundwater there. It's 38 inches, I believe. And I believe you're cutting in the northern portion of the basin. I don't know if there'd be any issues with interception of groundwater in that area.
This is you're talking about here.
Yeah, is that sloping from, is that a
So
common?
this is a hill.
And that's the snet behind, right?
Yeah, this is the old rail track, which is the Senate Trail. So
Okay,
this is a hill. Basically what happens is, let me zoom out a little bit. There's 2 kind of predominant soil conditions here. This area here and all the way out to the street is gravel. Really nice snow. You get back in kind of along a line like this, and you're getting into where the areas where the wetlands are appearing, and you're getting into a more restrictive soil. It's still nice stuff down and through here, but you're getting a shallower groundwater table. So so we basically tuck this basin in and just kind of getting it into this slope a little bit. But we're gonna be kind of sliding this basin back a little bit more towards the road. So it will be less in that slope.
okay, perfect, because I know, yeah, I would just, if it intercepts groundwater, because I don't know. How do the contours work back there? It looks like the trunk line trail, I believe, is higher than the basin.
Yeah, it's a big hill.
And does it continue to go up due, what is that? Due
Everything
east?
drains right here, right down through here.
Okay,
You see this line here, this is the floodplain boundary.
gotcha.
So this is Peters River. This area here, there's actually an old cart path that comes along and crosses over Peters River. There's a bridge right here.
Yeah.
And then, so the way this whole area here is it all drains down through this area here and then down to the river.
Gotcha.
And this is all wooded, undisturbed.
Okay.
And this is a big hill.
Yeah, yeah, it was just like it. All right, yeah, I think, I'd be interested, so if you're revising the drainage basin design a little bit, I'd be interested to see that where it falls in the cut portion of that slope. And if, one thing, as we move forward with the process, if there comes a time to draft a favorable decision, maybe there can be a condition during construction to do exploratory tests in that area while you're constructing it, just to have somebody out there in the town, just to make sure that there isn't any modeling, at the surface or something. And then the one other question I had was regarding the curb cut on Lake Street. So I know you're requesting a waiver, which that makes complete sense to try and make sure that you don't have exorbitant amount of wetland disturbance. Just out of curiosity, there's no sightline issues on that curve or anything?
No, we have about 450 feet to the north and 700 feet to the south.
Okay, perfect.
Good cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, that's all I had for now. I'd be interested to see what the peer review comes back with.
Two questions. I know that lot or parcel E is we just talked about that. What are the other?
They're gonna be given to other people. So let me just show you this. So this is our other right of way. It's useless land. The lot shape factor means we can't really put it in with another lot. So it's gonna be split in half, and I think the applicant's gonna, it's gonna end up going to adjacent property owners. And then can't really see it there. This little triangle here, parcel F, that's gonna end up being a land swap between the applicant and his neighbor. So at some point, we'll be in for an A&R on the house lot to the right, and that's just gonna end up being a land swap between the parties. So we're just creating those in the subdivision plan now to make life easier.
So talk to me about that. So if you were to slap on parcel C to the adjoining other parcel, it wouldn't work for the lot shape factor?
To lot 6,
I don't know the number. Yeah.
to our lot 6.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, these long tails mess up the lot shape factor. So
Well, let me ask you this. If the idea is, well, we'll put it in and then later on we'll just give it to the parcel 6. Aren't we creating something that doesn't comply with zoning?
not to parcel 6. I believe they're gonna be conveyed to
Also,
butters.
To either parcel C or D or whomever?
And I don't know all the details around this, but you have 340 Lake Street to the left, and you have 346 Lake Street to the right. I think they're gonna end up with those people.
Oh, I see. Okay,
It'll be splitting.
okay, I get it. All right.
I can get further clarification.
Yeah, if you don't mind. And then, could you explain a little bit about why a loop doesn't work in this particular?
Yeah, there's just, all right, yeah, so there's nowhere to go with it, so. Let's just look at the end of the road, right? So we have the Snet Trail here. You can't go south because you have wetlands, floodplain, riverfront area, and a river. You can't go west. You cross the trail, the old railroad bed, and the river's there. There's actually 2 rivers right there. So coming across that way there's nowhere to go with it. And if you go north, you got wetlands over here. There's nowhere to go with it.
So explain that to me. So the idea would be, it's to create a loop in the pipe so nothing goes out and stays there, right? Is that what it is?
Well, no, so the issue with dead end pipes is you can get water quality issues. Because there's not enough flow through the pipe. No, you have 6 houses attached to it. There's gonna be flow through the pipe. There's always flow through the pipe. But, people who operate water systems don't love dead ends because you can get stagnant water quality issues. So I'm sure that's the genesis of why the language is in your regulations about it. And I will talk to DPW about the wells versus the water main situation. And, maybe there's a middle ground there where, if the fire department wants a hydrant halfway down the road, maybe we can run keep the dead ends as short as possible and provide that hydrant to the fire department and put a couple of houses on the main or something like that. Maybe there's that middle ground.
So you can't put a pipe going down the street and have the other pipe looping back in the other direction. Because that's not how it's done.
I don't think that would accomplish anything. Hydraulically speaking, coming off a main and going 800 feet this way and 800 feet back, it's not gonna really,
Not a loop.
it's not gonna create flow.
Okay.
What you want to do is you want to create flow, right? You want as other people in other parts of the town, other parts of the neighborhood are using water, it's causing water to flow through the main. So the more interconnected your system is, the more that water is kind of always kind of moving around through the water system and it's not sitting still. So if you, do this giant horseshoe, it's not really creating flow.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
The road going in is eventually gonna be a town road?
Yes.
So it'll meet all the specs and everything else?
Yep.
Okay. I was also concerned about the retention basin and being in the zone 2, so I want to see the distances between the ground level and you haven't done any test pits there, right?
We have 3 test pits there. It's in this
How old is the-
stormwater part. We're about 3 feet above high groundwater table with the bottom of our base.
3 feet, okay. Okay, that's good. I think I'll hold up any other conversations until we hear from the public.
I don't want to repeat everything that's been said, but I think the hydrants, it's a safety concern. And so I think it absolutely needs to be looked into a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll talk to the fire department and DPW.
Thank you.
I'm gonna repeat a couple of things. All of us have in front of us documents from the DPW and the chief.
I haven't seen the DPW plans, okay.
I can forward it to the internal.
I can give you my copy. I'm in agreement with what she articulated about the importance of having water in that area. I also agree, fire hydrants or lack thereof is a big concern. I believe the chief would like to have 2 fire hydrants on the subdivision.
Okay.
And I believe that may be code. So that is a big concern for the people that will be buying that. I also think that we need to be educated a little bit more on the separation of septic system and well water to alleviate concerns in the future homeowner may have. So the two don't, intermingle across paths, so to speak. At the beginning, you mentioned, Phil asked about a road. You referred to it as a lane. Can you clarify what the difference would be between a lane and a road?
Well, it's just your designation and your regulation. You have different standards for roads, right of way width, pavement width, number of sidewalks. So this falls in the lane classification, which is 12 houses or less.
Okay, so by the road and the water.
Well, it's a road. It's
Okay, I just wanted,
it's the classification of road in your regulations
okay.
for this size project.
All right, so I think we need to address the concerns raised by DPW and the fire chief moving forward.
I will do that. So I have a question.
Sir, please keep that.
Okay. I have a question for you. The DPW mentions the possibility of a low pressure sewer system, given that we can't do gravity. If the applicant's interested in that, is that something that the board is amenable to?
I think that's, once we hear back from DPW,
So I'll discuss that with them.
okay, as well, also when we hear back from, the fire department.
Sure.
But I think we should look at, what options are available to you.
Okay.
And before I go any further, I see a lot of people there from the public. Does anyone have any questions they want to raise? No. Okay. Anyone in the audience? You see anyone? No, I mean, I'm sorry. So,
Well, up there
No.
in Zoom land, Pam, is anybody in Zoom land with their hand up?
See anyone?
I don't see anyone.
so what I would like to suggest is that you, as I said, meet with, both DPW and the fire department. And also, I think, you may want to decide if you want to do a stormwater peer review.
That's reasonable.
Okay. I assume that's reasonable.
Yes.
So anything else from the public? I see a bunch of people here. No one's raised their hand. So what I'd like to entertain now is talking about how long it would take you to do this. I think our schedule would be, that February 23rd. Does that give you enough time?
It gives, yeah, it's really the peer review, right? That's the time, that's what's gonna take the time. So, February 23rd is probably the right day, because that gives peer review a chance to get done and then me to respond to that.
Yep.
So that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, I can make that.
That would be the second meeting in February. So then I would entertain a motion for continuance in February 23rd, based on, meeting with the DPW fire department and, stormwater peer review. So, do I have a second.
Second.
Individual, all in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. Sir, thank you very much. And you can work with Amy to get the logistics worked out with the timing. So we can try to work within your time frame, February 24th.
Great. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good
Thank you
night.
very much, sir. Thank you. Look forward to working with you. Thank you for the detail, your presentation. Much appreciated.
Have a Good night.
Thank you.
Hold on until everyone exits. Before I go, I want to thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for participating.
Brian's kind of on.
The next item on the agenda is going to be the A&R on 93 Mendon Street.
Just wanted to give you a heads up that, the town planner has reviewed this.
I'm sorry,
The town planner has reviewed this and he recommends endorsement.
okay.
And Mark Allen is here. Also,
Mark,
Allen
anything you
here.
want to add?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mark Allen Engineering, representing the Canaris's. This is the property located associated with Pete's Bluebird Restaurant. That's been a long time mainstay in the town, and the owners are looking to separate their house from the restaurant, and that's the reason for the application tonight. It meets all of the local bylaws for an 81P plan, and we just hope for a positive determination from the board this evening.
Okay. I'm going to step on the line here for a brief moment, because I'm sure I'll be asked this question after this meeting by many people in town. As you said, Pete's has been there a long time. By doing this, are you limiting your opportunities to develop that property?
I wouldn't say limiting. I think based on Georgia's and Eleni's wishes, I think this is exactly what they want to do. So I wouldn't consider it limiting their abilities.
Okay, and you have people are looking for another Pete's, so everyone in town says that.
Yes.
Any comment from the public, if anyone has their hand? Again, this is fairly simple and straightforward. It meets the requirements. I would entertain a motion to approve the A&R Plan 93 amended for 93 Mendon Street.
Second.
Any discussion?
Sorry to see you go.
It's not going.
Subdivided.
Pizza's being leveled. That's the one I need to see go.
Just a quick question.
Sir,
Mark, do you know what the, are there any plans or intentions, just out of curiosity?
Not at this time, no. So what their intentions are is to basically separate the house lot from the restaurant. They are getting older in age and they just want the ability to, if they need to, separate the two entities. Right now, they're under the same common ownership. So there's no plan to demolish the restaurant by any means, but it just gives them the ability to I guess, research and sort of market the restaurant piece versus the residential piece. And they just want to live in the house that they've been in and separate that from the restaurant officially and legally. And based on the new new regulations, but based on shape factor, lot area, upland area, the previous line did not comply with those. So we're basically changing the line between the house and the restaurant to comply with current zoning regulations. Right now, there's no plans or no purchase and sale agreements, at least that I'm aware of, for the restaurant side of the parcel.
Very good, thank you.
that simplifies it because all sorts of rivers, small town,
Mhm.
that it's been sold and, whatever. But this makes it very simple, straightforward. Although it was simple and straightforward before this discussion.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Yes?
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Mark, what I'll do is I'll have the board sign the Mylar tonight. If you want to pick it up in the office, we're only open tomorrow till 1.
Okay, yeah, I'll send Mel down tomorrow.
Perfect, thank you.
Well, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
guys.
Best- I tell the old best of luck. Great
Thank you
people.
so much. Thank you for the board's consideration. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. While we're breaking up the A&R, we had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting, December 8th. Yes.
Great job, Tina.
I have a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes.
I have a second. I'm sorry. I have to do it in English, that's so many years.
Aye,
That's all in favor.
aye.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn. So moved. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Thank you.